Welcome back to Practical PyTorch. Two tensors can print the same but sit in memory completely differently. For some GPU operations, one is much slower. Let's measure the cost on a real GPU honestly. Two tensors can hold the same numbers and print the same, yet they can be laid out differently in memory. For some operations, one of them is much slower on the GPU. A tensor's shape is a reading pattern over one flat block of memory. Transpose it and you change the pattern, not the memory. That is free, until an operation must move it back into order. This lesson has three parts. First, shape is a reading pattern. It is a stride tuple over one flat block of storage. Second, view versus copy. A view shares the storage. A copy makes new storage. Third, when layout costs. We measure it on the GPU and see when it does not. Part 1. Shape is a reading pattern over flat storage. Start with a tiny tensor, shape 2 by 3. 2 rows, 3 columns. This grid is how you picture it. The shape reads 2, 3. That is simply how you read the values. 6 values arranged as a rectangle. Nothing about memory yet. But memory is not a grid. It is one flat strip of 6 cells in a single line. This strip is the real storage. The grid above is just a way to read it. All 6 values sit here, one after another. The grid is a view of this strip. The stride 3, 1 says how far to step in storage. Step 3 to change row, 1 to change column. Follow one arrow, from a grid cell down to its slot in storage. A whole row sits together. That is row major, so the arrows run straight. This tensor is contiguous. Now transpose it. The grid relabels to shape 3, 2. The stride becomes 1, 3. The two entries simply swapped. But the flat storage has not moved at all. Now the arrows cross each other. Reading in row order jumps around memory. The reading order is now 0, 3, 1, 4, 2, 5. A transpose is a view. Same storage, swap strides, so it is free. Those crossed arrows are what non-contiguous means. Same idea on the GPU now. X is a 1024 by 1024 tensor. Y equals x dot t, that is the transpose, a view with no copy. Print x's stride and whether x is contiguous. Print y's stride and whether y is contiguous. Compare the data pointers. Do x and y share the same storage? Read the results. X has stride 1024, 1 and is contiguous. Y has stride 1, 1024 and is not contiguous. The two data pointers match exactly. So it is one block of memory read two ways. The transpose changed only the stride tuple. Nothing was copied. Part 2. A view shares storage. A copy makes new storage. Y is the non-contiguous transpose from before. Y.view-1 asks to flatten it to one dimension. It throws a runtime error. A view can only re-index the storage as it is. A non-contiguous layout cannot be re-flattened, and PyTorch tells you what to do. Use reshape instead. Z equals y.contiguous. That makes a fresh copy, laid out in order. Now z.view-1 works. It returns a flat one-dimensional tensor. That is just over 1 million elements, and contiguous is true. Reshape does that contiguous thin view step for you when needed. Channels last is another memory layout, worth knowing by name for conv mets. Part 3. What does the layout actually cost? We measure it. Now measure. The copy from a strided layout runs about 2 times slower. It is 2.03 at the smallest size. It stays near 1.75 at the larger sizes. But the reduction, x times 2 dot sum, is about 1 times either way. The copy pays because it must omit elements in logical order, so its reads are scattered. A sum is order-free. It reads straight down storage and stays coalesced. Layout matters for ops bound by how they read memory, not for every op. On a contiguous copy, 6 GPU threads read 6 addresses. These are the 6 memory addresses they read. Thread 0 reads address 0. Every thread reads the address right next to it, straight across. Neighboring threads hit neighboring addresses. The hardware fetches them together as one transaction. The reads coalesce. Transpose, the arrows cross to scattered addresses. Same jump as the stride figure, 0, 3, 1, 4, 2, 5. Now neighboring threads read scattered addresses. The hardware cannot fetch them together. It issues many transactions. Those scattered reads the hardware cannot coalesce. That is the roughly 2 times on the copy. A sum reads straight down storage, so it barely feels the layout. A tempting fix is to sprinkle dot contiguous everywhere, just to be safe. But dot contiguous is a full copy. That is the very cost this lesson measured. Calling it reflexively adds copies you may not need. Ask which operation actually needs a contiguous layout. Only that one should pay. A tensor's shape is a reading pattern, the stride tuple, over one flat block of storage. Transpose and permute change only the strides. You get a view, sharing storage, now non-contiguous. A view cannot re-flatten a non-contiguous layout. Dot contiguous, or reshape, makes a fresh ordered copy. The strided copy costs about 1.8 to 2 times, scattered reads, many transactions. A full reduction barely notices, about 1 times, because a sum can read in storage order. 1 to try. After y equals x dot t, does y share storage with x, and is it contiguous? Work it out from the stride rule. Then check the answers file, section 3.4. The answer, yes, y shares the storage. But no, it is not contiguous. A transpose changes only the stride. So shape is a reading pattern over flat storage. A view changes the pattern, a copy makes new storage. The GPU cares which one you gave it from memory-bound ops. Next, stop guessing where the time goes. Read the profile with Torch Profiler on a real model.